All rise. Choose your character.
We are back. Sportsroom Courtroom Season 2, full effect, man. New jury, new debaters. We about to get into it. It's the football edition. Got some great content coming for y'all. So yeah, as you know, I'm Shannon Smith, Shan.xvv on Instagram. Y'all know what time it is, man. I'll swing it over to my jury members. Omar, go ahead. Introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
What's up, people? My name is Omar Ford. I'm out in Vancouver right now, but look, we're all here for one reason, to see who the better debater is. So, Aston, Jordan, do your thing. Good luck to y'all.
My name is Jerry K. Instagram's gonna be YJ, 2 Ys. Out here in California. Just can't wait to see some debates.
What's up, y'all? Ashton Edmonds. I'm a new debater on the show, so super excited to be here. Currently in Atlanta right now, so yeah, ready for it.
What's up, y'all? Jordan Seachin. I was a jury member last season. I'm ready to debate this season. I got my PJs on tonight because I'm gonna put Ashton to sleep. So let's go.
I bet. Well, y'all heard it here first, man. So look, we're getting into the opening statement right now. But before we do that, our question for this week is the Dallas Cowboys season over? As y'all know, there's some stuff going on with the Cowboys losing their starting quarterback. Who else knows what's going to happen? So with that being said, the person that said, yes, the season is over is going to go first. So Ashton, we're going to swing it over to you. 2 minutes.
Yes. So, of course, the Dallas Cowboys season is over. For one, the Dallas Cowboys really isn't a good team. They haven't won a playoff game since 2018. They lost Dak Prescott, who is a multi-dimensional quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback. He can throw. Cooper Rush, he's not a mobile quarterback. He can only throw. He was undrafted in 2017. He's bounced in and off of practice squads since he's been in the league. And in his game against the Bucs, he only threw 7 for 13 passes, which is about 53% for only 64 yards. So I just don't see how the Cowboys are going to benefit with Cooper Rush. And then you look at the run game, Ezekiel Elliott. He only ran for 52 yards against the Bucs. This is supposed to be a prime player for the Cowboys. He had 10 carries for 52 yards, no touchdowns. That's going to hurt the Cowboys in the long run. And I think we need to see more of Ezekiel Elliott now step up now that Dak Prescott is gone.
So with that being said, that's Ash's opening statement. Jordan, you're up.
All right. So is the Cowboy season over? We're talking after one game. No, simply put, the Cowboys season is not over. The season is not over because, like I said, they've only played one game. There's 16 games to be played. I would love to hear the last time someone's season ended after one game. I actually can answer that for you. It was the New York Towanda Cardex. I bet none of you have heard of that. It was a team from Buffalo, New York. They only played one game in 1921, and they lost 45-0. So that was the only team in history whose season ended after one game. Yes, Dak's injury is a huge blow, but success can still be had this season by the Cowboys. Just because they don't win the Super Bowl doesn't mean that it's not a good season. For starters, the division sucks. Eagles gave up 35 points week 1 to the Lions. Giants, they're the Giants. The Commanders are, well, shit, man. The Commanders don't even have a real name yet. They can't even name their team. So, like you mentioned, Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is currently the Cowboys starting QB. I want to remind everybody, week 1, Cooper Rush came in for Dak, and he had a great game. Rush led an 8-play, 75-yard drive in the final minute, sealed the game-winning touchdown. He's clearly capable. He's done it before. They also have other QBs on the roster. Will Greer had impressive performances preseason. But going past the QBs on the roster, they have a chance to sign Jimmy Garoppolo, the backup in San Fran. Jerry Jones is not afraid to make moves. We all know that. They also have an opportunity to sign Gardner Minshew. Jerry Jones is not afraid to make moves. They'll have to give up assets, but he's not afraid. Another reminder, Cam Newton is a free agent. They could sign him just for the time being. Same playing style as Dak. He's mobile. He might not be what he was, but he's still good. And finally, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Who doesn't want to see a little Fitzmagic? You know what I mean? He announced his retirement in June, but nobody here would be stunned if Fitzmagic came back.
So look, we just got the opening statements out the way. Now we're gonna do rebuttals. We're gonna lead it off with Ashton. Let's see what you got.
Cool. So what I'm gonna say is Dak Prescott had one of the best seasons last year, and they still got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. When has Cooper Rush ever won a playoff game? I don't think never. He's always been a backup. Like I said, he's bounced around from practice squad to practice squad. He played 1 year for the Giants, I believe, and then he came right back to Dallas. Now, he's in a starting position to make something of himself, but let's be real, Dak Prescott is their only hope. Ezekiel Elliott isn't doing anything. CeeDee Lamb, that's the only receiver I can name on the roster, if I'm being honest. They don't really have assets on the offense. It's the same story with the Cowboys every year. I mean, they make it to the first round of the playoffs, and they're eliminated. We seen a meme on Twitter before the season started. They already had the meme prepped and ready. See, the Cowboys are going to be eliminated. They're not going to have a great season. And with Dak out, they just lost a major player to their offense and to their team.
All right, good points, Ashton. All right, let's hear it from Jordan.
All right, here's my rebuttal. I brought the division up briefly in my opening statement, but the NFC East is trash. The Cowboys won it last year at 12-5, and the next closest team was the Eagles at 9-8. The year before, the Commanders won the division at 7-9. The year before that, the Eagles won it at 9-7. The year before that, the Cowboys won it at 10-6, and the next closest team was the Eagles at 9-7. In this division, it is not guaranteed that the winner of the division will be even above 500. You don't have to be above 500 to win the NFC East. Proven in the facts and in the history. I want to remind everybody that the Cowboys defense is a top defensive team in the league. Top 10. They're being ranked at number 10. No other team in the division has a top 10 ranked defense. Just want everybody to know that. Like I said, you don't need to be above 500 to win the division. To win the Super Bowl, yeah, it might be hard without Dak, but they can still make the playoffs, and this season is far from over.
Yeah, Ashton and Jordan, excellent points. And then now we're going to cross-examination, and Ashton's going to lead off.
So my first question to you, Jordan, is with the Cowboys not having a mobile quarterback anymore, just a passing quarterback, that completely changes the offense. Do you think it's going to be better moving forward, or do you think the offense is going to be stagnant at this point?
Listen, you're losing a great quarterback. Things are going to be affected.
What about the run game? Ezekiel Elliott, he only had 52 yards. I mean, he's supposed to be one of their star players on offense. He didn't show up against the Bucs. They only scored 3 points in the entire game. How do you think that's going to affect the offense now moving forward?
Star player or not, they're playing the Giants and the Commanders.
But still got to worry about the Eagles, though. Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders.
Eagles won the division at 7-9. They weren't even above 500.
That was last season. It's a new season. Jalen Hurts just threw for
That was 2 seasons ago, but it doesn't matter. History is proven facts, brother.
But are they going to be the best in it? Because they're fourth in the division right now, behind behind all 3 Commanders, Eagles.
They're fourth in the division. They only play 1 game,
and they lost Dak.
They lost 1 game, and you gonna say their season's over?
How are they going to reach number 1 without Dak?
Maybe they win next week. They'll be top in the division.
Not winning with Cooper Rush.
They've done it before. I told y'all.
How many games has Cooper Rush won in his career, or any playoff games?
He hasn't needed to play in the playoffs yet. They've had Dak.
Is he an all-pro quarter? I mean, because Dak is an all-pro.
We're not comparing Dak to Cooper Rush.
Hey, man. Cross-examination. I like that, fellas. I like the spice in here.
All right, Ashton has some great questions, and we're swinging this over to Jordan.
Ashton, if you played any sports, I know you know the sentence. Just finish the sentence for me. Defense wins. Championships. I'll answer. You took too long. Do you know how long Dak is sidelined for?
No.
6 to 8 weeks. In their division with a top 10 defense, they could win the league with Dak returning. 6 to 8 weeks, he has half the season left to play. I want you to guess what the easiest league in football is.
But 6 to 8 weeks?
No, I'm done with that question. I'm done with that question. What is the easiest league in football? You can take a guess.
The easiest league?
Easiest division, sorry.
I don't know, maybe the NFC East?
Yeah, and you know what division the Cowboys play in? The NFC.
And they're last.
According to NBC Sports,
Cowboys.
This is my segment here. According to or NBC Sports, CBS Sports, and Sports Illustrated, the NFC East is the undisputed easiest division in football. If you're telling me the Cowboys, no more questions here. If you're telling me the Cowboys can't compete in the easiest division, forget about the quarterback. They have a top 10 defense. You said it yourself. I'm not
They
asking
do make it out.
I'm not asking any more
Their
questions.
division.
You
But
said it yourself.
What do they do?
Defense wins championships.
Do they make it past the first round?
No, Ashton, this is not your time. Defense wins championships. To win the division, they need a good defense. They have the best defense in the division. That's all I got.
They're not making it past the first round of the play. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not making it past the first round.
I never was arguing that they make the play, that they would make it past the first round.
Time, damn it. Y'all will get a chance to do this again. Y'all will get a chance to really go at each other at the end of this, man. This is crazy. This is what it needs to be, man. This is must see YouTube, man. That's what I like to hear. Jeez, man. This is crazy to start off the season, man. All right. Great points by both y'all. Great questions by both y'all. Both y'all made the other person think, which was wild. So now we're going into the last rebuttals. It's a minute long, so make this something what it needs to be. So Ashton, I'm gonna swing it over to you to kick it off.
Yo, so first off, I want to say, do you really think how are the Cowboys going to get Jimmy Garoppolo? Who are they going to give up for Jimmy Garoppolo? Doubt that's going to happen. You mentioned they have a couple quarterbacks in the room already. So I don't think Jerry Jones is going to make that move. He's probably just going to wait on Dak to come back. But you better hope that the Cowboys win these next games over the 6 to 8 weeks, because if they don't, they're definitely not making the playoffs. You still do have to worry about the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, like I said, Jalen Hurts, he threw for 243 yards in week 1. Miles Sanders ran for almost 100 yards. Every team in the NFC East won their game, the Giants, the Commanders, and the Eagles. Besides the Cowboys. Cowboys didn't beat the Bucs. They didn't score any touchdowns throughout the game. And like I said, Ezekiel Elliott, who is an all-pro running back, only rushed for 52 yards against the Bucs. Yes, the Bucs defense is great, but Ezekiel Elliott is supposed to be a star player. That's why Jerry Jones drafted him in the first round. So I think when you talk about the Cowboys season being over,
I'll let you finish that last statement. That last
I was
sentence,
just going to say, when you talk about, my bad. When you talk about the Dallas Cowboys season being over with Dak Prescott out, it's a clear answer, and that's yes.
All right, Shay Seach, last rebuttal, man.
Yes, the Cowboys had a brutal blow to their quarterback. Losing a great quarterback and your leader for half the season is never ideal. They have options at quarterback. Like I said, you don't know moves that Jerry Jones is going to make. We've seen him make ridiculous moves in the past. Look to the history. But in a division like the NFC East, having half a season to make the playoffs is more than enough. You don't even have to be above 500. If Dak has half a season, he can make the playoffs. They have the best defense in the division, and they have the best overall roster. If two positions make a team, you haven't played team sports. Team sports are won together. And yes, the rest of the teams in the division have won one game. We're talking about one singular game, and that's the reason the Cowboys have lost. If they were in any other division in the league, they would be done. They could go below 500, still make the playoffs with a game to spare. You can simply not count them out after one game.
Oh, okay, Tom. This is a crazy debate, fellas. Appreciate this for real. This is wild. I didn't expect to get into this tonight, yo. So we added a new segment. The people talk and we listen. We're going to call this the dispute. So what the dispute is, Jordan and Ashton, that fire y'all had in the cross-examination, let it fly right now. Get y'all points out. Look, I know you guys want to talk over each other, but somebody's going to have to be quiet so we can hear a point, and then the other person's going to have to talk, but get into it, man. 3 minutes, final round. Let it fly. Let's hear it.
Ashton, how do you define a successful season?
Successful season when the whole team buys in, both offense and defense, good coaching, and consistency is the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but from what you're arguing if they don't make the Super Bowl or win a playoff game, that's a successful season without Dak Prescott.
But I
want
to ask you, every successful team that has made it to the playoffs or Super Bowl has had a successful quarterback. Tom Brady.
We're not arguing successful team. We're arguing if
That is
their
the
season is over,
main-
which
the
is clearly not. You admitted they might make the playoffs in the first round.
They might.
You said it yourself.
But they're going to lose. Like, it's the same
Who
story.
cares if they lose in the playoffs in the first round? If they make the playoffs, that means the season wasn't over after the first game.
When is the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl?
It doesn't matter.
1995. It's been 2
That doesn't
decades.
matter, though. That's not what we're arguing. If the debate was the Cowboys, if the Cowboys don't win a Super Bowl, is it a successful season? Like, we're not arguing that. We're arguing, is the season over?
But the
after one
quarterback,
game?
the quarterback is the main position. On the
Yeah,
field.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Rush
But you
doesn't
never
have-
played team sports if you think one player can.
But Cooper Rush he doesn't have the same experience as Dak Prescott. He doesn't know
You know
how
how
to.
good you have to be to play in the NFL?
You said what?
You know how good you have to be to play in the NFL?
Every player isn't good though.
Oh, so they're not.
They're good, but they're not great. I worded it wrong. They're good, but every player isn't great. Cooper Rush isn't great.
That's
He's
fine.
an average
You
player.
don't have to be good enough. You don't have to be.
He's a
You
backup.
don't have to be great in the NFC East. You have to be good, and you said they're good.
Every quarterback in the NFC East is better than Cooper Rush.
Doesn't matter.
Jalen Hurts,
Overall,
Carson Wentz.
It's a team sport. You're talking about quarterback. It's a
Right.
team sport.
Right, and
Is football a team sport, or is it only a quarterback? They just throw
What
it.
did they do as a team against the Bucks when Cooper Rush came in?
It's one game. You think the Bengals were happy with their Week 1 performance?
They scored, at least they scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that's
They went
fine.
to overtime.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers was happy with his Week 1 performance? Let me ask you, do you think Aaron Rodgers is a bad quarterback because they didn't score a touchdown?
But Aaron Rodgers, I think Aaron Rodgers wants to retire. He's been having that
That's what
notion.
you think. You talked to Aaron Rodgers?
I didn't.
Yeah, I know. So we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know.
It's cool. Look, the quarterback is the main position or one of the main positions in the NFL.
Oh, but I thought it was the main. You changed up.
No. It's one of the main positions.
Oh, now it's one.
But he's the commander. He's the commander of the offense. He's the one that keeps the offense molded together. If you don't have Dak Prescott in that,
sport.
how are they going to succeed?
Good game.
Time. But I'm gonna kick this thing off of what I saw throughout this debate. So first of all, great debate from both of y'all. That's the energy we need for season 2, man. Wow. So starting with the opening statements, Ashton brought up a great point that, look, the Cowboys need Dak Prescott, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody, when you think of Dallas Cowboys, thinks of Dak Prescott. But when he brought up the fact about Cooper Rush and he's just not what the Cowboys are, you feel me? That was like, well, that's a fact. But Jordan came back with a swinging punch saying, hey, do you realize what division they play in? It's the NFC East. Like, that's the weakest division in football. And I mean, that is facts. And then he also brought up the fact that there's more talent out there. So first, before I keep going into what this debate is, me personally, when I first saw the question, hey, is the Dallas Cowboys season over? I was thinking to myself, yeah, that thing is over, right? But as the debate's going along, you guys are both swinging me on the line, like which way do I go? So going into the rebuttal, Ashton brought up the factual evidence that they're always a first round exit. You feel me? It's the Cowboys. They're the laughing stock of the league. Like, it's either you love them or you hate them. Like, that's how it is. But Jordan came back with another punch saying, hey, in the NFC East, you don't got to be above 500 to win the division. And not one person not one team in the division is a top 10 defense, which, is pretty big. During the cross-examination, Ashton asked great questions, but Jordan was kind of smart in not going too deep into it. Like, he was trying to keep his answers short and sweet. Like, he wasn't going to give you too much. And I think he knew what he was doing because, if you start asking more questions about the Cowboys and things like that, the things just develop into something crazy and just long. So he used a good tactic there. But what was really a big, like, damn, that's a punch right there was when Jordan got you to agree that the NFC East was the weakest division in football. That right there was like, oh, all right, hold on now. This might be something that Jordan's kind of swing. But you came back with the rebuttal and said that, they still got some quarterbacks in the room and Dak's out 6 to 8 weeks. And if my math is correct, that's half the season, right? So that means when Dak comes back, he has to play perfect and get those wins. So let's say they go 0-9, right? Because week 1 already happened. Let's say they go 0-9 up until this point, and Dak comes back. He has to play perfect in order for them to even have a chance. And that was a great point by you, Ashton. And then Jordan told us, look at the history and understand that 2 guys can't just win a football game for a team. But during the dispute, the biggest thing happened, which really shot you in the foot, Ashton. And it was when Jordan brought up the fact that, when he brought up the fact that, I'm sorry, I'm already losing what I'm trying to say. The fact that
That's your season.
Thank you. Yes, Omar. I appreciate you, bro. It was in my head. I kept bringing up something else. So the successful season, he asked you to define what a successful season was. And, you did say, well, they make the playoffs. They made the playoffs, right? But in that situation, that technically might be a success, because even though they've been getting knocked out in the first round for the past years, people saw that as, successful. They're still getting to the same point that they were. And that's just like, damn, man, that's technically a successful season for the Cowboys. And Jordan was like, nobody said they're going to win a Super Bowl, but getting to the same point that they've been at is big. So that's the only reason that swung me onto Jordan's side, and I have to give this one to Jordan. I have to. But great debate by the both of y'all, man. For real.
He brought up some great points, though. He brought up some great points. I got to give it to him.
It was fun going against Ashton. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, so Jerry, you're up.
All right. Both Ashton and Jordan had great points. I'm starting with Ashton. One of the points he brought up was there's the 2 star players is very important. You have no Dak, you have no you have Elliott, but he wasn't running as a star player. You said he had like 50 something yards or something like that.
52 yards.
Yeah, and I think that plays on, if you don't have a quarterback like Dak moving around, making the defense confused, it's not gonna help the Cowboys at all. But Jordan had a great point about defense wins games, not offense, and I like that a lot. And also what Shannon had also said, they can make moves, like they have other quarterbacks that they can get, and so I'm just going to give it to Jordan on that one.
Yeah, so obviously you guys have had a great debate, and I feel like my jury members are already established, all the points that you guys talked about. But I'm just going to go over a few points in which made me make my decision the way it was. Ashton, you talked about how Cooper Rush has never played a playoff game. And I thought that was really big because you're like, okay, well, how can they be a successful team if you never had someone who's been in that role before? They can't fulfill, winning a playoff game. But I think for me, it was Jordan's initial stance in what defines a successful season that kind of tailored me to go to Jordan. So it's a sweep. No, I'm playing. But honestly, it was because Jordan established what a successful season is, and then you admitted to that later on in the debate, which kind of goes to show that his targets or his points were just a little bit stronger. But look, bro, you're not out. Now you know what you already have one under your belt, bro. Like, you're gonna come back, let's show us what you can do, and wishing the best for y'all. Great debate. I love the competition. Y'all was definitely getting at it. And
that was crazy. That was wild. Yo, and this is only week 1, man. This is only week 1, and it's gonna be.
Hey, now that it's over, Ashton, that was mad fun, bro. I had a good time.
That was dope. I appreciate it.
I had mad fun.
Yeah.
Y'all did y'all thing, man.
Nah, for real.
That was fun, though. I like debating.
That was really good.
That was fun.
I can see y'all being a championship matchup, most likely when we get to the end of the season. Obviously.
I'm coming, B-Dog. I'm coming.
So, look, man, this was a great debate. It's only week 1. We're going to be back week 2 with some more stuff, but great debate by Jordan and Ashton. Jordan, congratulations on winning this one. You're 1-0. Ashton, you can still get them rankings up until we get to our tournament, bro. So,
Hey, Ashton, if anything hasn't convinced you otherwise, 0-1 don't mean shit, bro.
That's actually good. Thanks, man. But other than that, we thank you all for watching another episode of the Sportsroom Courtroom. that being said, court is adjourned. We'll see y'all next week.